You know, Margaret Thatcher died last week, and so I was watching MSNBC's coverage, you know, because everybody does the, what do you call it, their obituary of her, and so Chris Mathews and Chris Hayes, both named Chris, both on MSNBC. This show has turned into a Chris Mathews kind of a, I don't know what it is, but because it's unbelievable to see a guy who's supposed to be a progressive Democrat liberal doing all these things that undermine progressivism and liberalism and the New Deal.
The secret of his success is that he's not a liberal or a progressive.
Right, he's neither of those things. He's a suck up to power, which this will prove. So let's watch how they both handled Margaret Thatcher's passing. Here's Chris Mathews first. Here's what he says.
Let me finish tonight with Margaret Thatcher. Let me repeat what I said on Morning Joe today when I first got word of the former British Prime Minister's death. I don't like the way Hollywood makes movies about people they don't agree with politically. Ronald Reagan comes off as an amiable dunce. Margaret Thatcher gets a movie about her life that focuses on the dementia, which she suffered late in life. Let's do this right. If you disagree with someone politically, take on their strengths. Do what they did in that little British film, Brassed Off. Take your shots. Hit them where they're strongest and you disagree with them the most. Don't come off trying to be so compassionate, so balanced, when what you're really doing is finding a velvet glove to punch them one more time when they're dead and can't sue you. One of the best examples I've discovered in politics and in covering it is the best of people, the ones I admire, always there to say something good about the best of those on the other side. Reagan would always salute Franklin Roosevelt. Clinton would always salute Reagan. It comes with the territory. You admit great leadership because that's what you yourself hope to achieve.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. First of all, I like how he says that Clinton always tipped his hat to Ronald Reagan. Yes, he was willing to salute Reagan, Chris, even as the Republicans were impeaching him. Oh, what a good fucking sport he was, wasn't he?
Reasonable.
Very reasonable. Yes, that's a... Okay, it's right. Yeah, Mathews is right. Praising your adversaries does go with the territory if you're a career-hugging kiss-ass. Yeah, and I know that he believes in tipping your hat and praising your adversaries, because Chris Mathews said George Bush should be on Mount Rushmore.
And that's a lot of praise, especially for Bush.
That's for that we should put Chris Mathews under Mount Rushmore.
Now.
Okay. I love how all of a sudden, hey, Margaret Thatcher's died. Chris, what's your reaction? Oh, fucking Hollywood. Oh, I hate Hollywood.
It's all their fault that she was a miserable right-winger.
Now here's how Chris Hayes, here's his preamble to his sum up of Margaret Thatcher's life. Let's look at the difference.
Former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher died today at 87, and there is an understandable instinct to be charitable upon someone's death. The death of public figures is an incredibly important occasion to wrestle with their legacy, and the wrong message can be massively destructive. The perception of someone's legacy has consequences because it tends to establish what the consensus position is, what we've all collectively learned from the person's life. President Obama's statement read in part, "The world has lost one of the great champions of freedom and liberty. America has lost a true friend." As a grocer's daughter who rose to become Britain's first female prime minister, she stands as an example to our daughters that there is no glass ceiling that can't be shattered. Yet, according to a former advisor, Thatcher herself said, "The feminists hate me, don't they? And I don't blame them, for I hate feminism. It is poison." Now, if Thatcher was known for anything in her amazing career on the world stage, it was pulling no punches, and out of deference to that legacy, we should pull none ourselves. Here's a occasion to celebrate Margaret Thatcher today.
Okay, so it's a little different of a take from Chris Hayes, right? He's going to go right at her. He's going to hold her feet to the fire, unlike Chris Mathews, who thinks he's just another opportunity to bitch about Hollywood somehow. Here's how Chris Mathews sums up Margaret Thatcher's life.
I think Margaret Thatcher, the first woman to lead a great Western country in our times, is enormously worthy of respect and admiration. I think her great premiership, second only to Churchill's in modern times, stands as a great precursor of what a woman leader can bring to office. If and when Hillary Clinton seeks the presidency, the legacy of Thatcher will be a strong standard on which any woman, especially the recent Secretary of State, can run and win.
Once again, Chris Mathews making sure we don't mistake him for a journalist with integrity.
He steered clear completely.
I think what he's saying is that Thatcher proved that even a woman in power could be a dick. I think that
doesn't seem possible biologically.
And Mathews praised Steve for the powerful cannot be bought because he gives it away for free.
He's like a slut.
He is
not
like
even a whore.